everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to The Edge.
Hi there.
We have at the table, we have August, Maureen, Roseanne, and Andrea. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Yep.
Yay, we
Here
made
we
it.
are.
We made it.
We made it. We made it to another Friday. Oh, and again, another week with absolutely nothing going on. Kidding, obviously. So we have a few stories to share with you today. If you're in our chat, please say hello. Let us know you're out there. We love talking to you, with you. So let's get started on our first little piece of what the hell is going on here. So I don't know if you heard, if anybody watched the little clip of the some of our congressmen and women who are also veteran, whether military or intelligence, sending an urgent message to our military, and then the response from the White House. But I want to hear from one of our favorite, Lawrence, over at MSNBC. So let's take a look and see what he had to say about some of this. Oh, sound.
Member of Congress to change her mind. Donald Trump turns to threatening death for 6 Democratic members of Congress because they said this.
Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
At 9:08 a.m. today, Donald Trump wrote his first lies about what you just heard. And please remember that everything I report to you that Donald said about this is a lie. He said it's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. 3 exclamation points and example must be set. There is nothing seditious about it. The only logic of Donald Trump's statement is that he wants to be able to issue illegal orders, and he wants the American military to follow his illegal orders. It is impossible for anyone who understands the English language and the law to disagree with a single word that any of those members of Congress said. And everyone today who has objected to what they said, has left out the fact that they are all referring only to illegal orders. 12 minutes later, Donald Trump wrote, "This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors, lock them up, ? Now, no. They will never be locked up. They will never be charged. There is nothing to investigate. Every word they said is true and is legally correct. And then an hour later, Donald Trump said, seditious behavior, punishable by death. To which Senator Chuck Schumer said this.
Let's be crystal clear. The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he is a clear, and I said this yesterday, I believe he is a clear and present danger to us all. He is unhinged. He's mentally unstable. And what really gets me is he invited an alleged murderer into the White House. They put on a lavish dinner for this individual Tuesday night with all kinds
Yeah.
of oligarchs and billionaires. And that's okay. I don't think so.
No, it's not okay. You're muted, Marie.
Oh. No, it's not okay for sure. And he is, I call him dangerous all the time. This is a president, a dangerous president that can affect everybody. Uh, and he's got to be stopped as far as I'm concerned.
I think for me, I'm wondering, okay, you inviting them into our house. You want to sell the F-35s. Those F-35s can get into enemies' hands. Not saying that China is enemy, but you don't want to make those plans go into it because we have the latest and greatest technology in those fighter jets, and you want to sell it to them. What else are you selling us short on? I just
Right.
he needs to be impeached.
Absolutely. He also, the Saudis are putting in a bid for Warner Brother Discovery. And yeah, yes, they are. So, and as of early this week, they were allegedly the top bidder, but initial bids were due yesterday by, I'm not sure, noon Eastern time. So I'm not sure where they are in the bidding process, but they were putting in a bid. And I don't want them owning an American media company.
Absolutely not. I always feel like there's something going on with Trump and his family with Saudi Arabia. That bothers me too. I mean, I'm not saying we have definitive proof of that, but I'm sorry. There's just been too many things of that family meeting with people in Saudi Arabia. They're not paying attention to other countries they should be helping out.
To answer Katie's question, impeachment. That's the only way to stop him at this given moment. That's what it's going to take. Everybody has to band together, or else we are definitely signing ourselves away. We are being sold. We're hoodwinked, bamboozled, and we got to wake up.
Michael Fanone in Washington is having that rally. He said to have Trump impeached. It'd be like three strikes, you're out.
But unless the Senate agrees
Mhm.
to hold him accountable, impeachment's just going to be another moot point, basically. It gets so tiring because you keep thinking that maybe this is the line.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the line finally.
Yeah.
But clearly it's not.
Yeah.
Where's the line? I want to know where the line is for these Republicans.
That was the question I was asking yesterday, and there is no line because the Supreme Court said it was okay for him to do whatever he wants. He's the president. What line? There is no line.
Would it even? Yeah. Would it even be a line if he went through with it? Would that even be a line?
I don't think so. They said that if it was, as the president and it was something that was saving the country from whatever, or he was protecting the country, but he's going to tell that lie that was, it was the U.S. He had to do it, and they said okay.
Well, I don't know about that Supreme Court.
I don't.
For a while, yeah.
I didn't gave up on the Supreme Court. I don't know how you impeach the Supreme Court.
I have to.
Yeah.
They screwed us.
I asked Don yesterday, can't we impeach the Supreme Court, or can we bring them on television and interview them to see why it was okay for him to do it, but it wasn't okay for Obama to wear a tan suit.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
This is
Good
crazy.
grief.
I ended up watching something late last night where Obama was telling jokes about when he was leaving office, and it was funny how and with having 11 months left, he couldn't even get in another Supreme Court justice. What's his name? But then with 2 days left, Trump was able to get someone in. You know, it's for thee and not for me, and whatever that is. Garland.
Merrick Garland.
Yeah, Merrick
Right.
Garland.
As far as I was concerned, I think there should have been more done at that point in time. But
I think so too, but they said they wouldn't let him get anything passed. They said that, and that was what's his name, the one that every time he talked he started freezing. What's his name?
Mitch
these
McConnell.
Oh,
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell said he would do everything in his power to make sure that President Obama didn't get anything passed.
And look at him now.
Yeah, look at him. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
He's a tired old man who needs to go.
Look what he unleashed. Yes.
Yeah.
I know, I go back in time. I always remember Watergate and the Washington Post. I guess that was the defining moment. Those two men, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting their names at this point. I should.
I know, me too. It's too many.
Yeah, they gathered, I'm sorry. They gathered all that information together and did a good job with it and presented it. I just don't think it can happen that way now. But Nixon also eventually just said, okay, and went away. But he was impeached, but Trump is another whole drama story. I don't know how you do it with this man, president.
But transitioning back to what Kim played earlier, I just want to bring up the Democrats didn't say anything out of place. They would like to make people think that, oh, they said something wrong. No, they're upset because they're being called out. It is true. What they're saying is illegal, and we need to make sure we make a note of that.
Right.
Mhm.
I meant to pull the clip of what's his name, speaker
Johnson.
The spin
Michael.
that he was putting.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Spin Meister.
Yeah, because the cover up is the real crime, and that's what Nixon really got impeached for, was the cover up.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because Clinton, they kept him in office because he told what he did. You know, he said, I didn't have sex in the Oval Office, but it was fun.
She was on her knees.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Andrea, this clip that you gave me, I apologize, I didn't realize it was the same topic.
Well, I mean, it was about the, you know, I was talking about the what is the wait, I got it here just a second.
I mean, I could still play it if it's a different perspective or.
Well, that's what I'm gonna look at. I mean, and give me just a second because
Okay. I mean, we have plenty of time.
You can pull it up and go ahead about what is the 90-second. I got it. My name is Andrea.
I have it here at about 40 seconds. You said to start.
Okay, yeah, started at 40 seconds, please.
Okay, we can play. I mean, it's good to get two different media outlets, see what they're saying.
Hello, everyone. I'm Major Garrett in Washington. Let me welcome you to the Takeout. We did not expect to start tonight with Article 92 of the Uniform
Yeah, what is
Code
Article
of Military
92?
Justice. We are,
My notes.
because a debate, if you can call it that, broke out today over what it means and calls by the President of the United States for charges of treason against 6 Democratic members of Congress. Treason, as you might know, is punishable by death. President Trump amplified a Truth Social post calling for the lawmakers' death by hanging. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are. Article 92 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice says service personnel must obey lawful orders. Failure to obey lawful orders can result in court-martial. There is, however, an important qualifier. Military personnel have a duty to disobey a manifestly illegal order. That means the order's illegality must be, quote, clear and obvious. Examples: orders to target civilians, orders to falsify documents, orders to commit crimes. 6 Democrats in Congress, all of whom served in the United States military or the U.S. intelligence community, released a video to members of the military and intelligence community, and here, from that video, are the most pertinent excerpts.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk. This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens. Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
So let's dig into this a bit. In California, the Democratic governor challenged the legality of Trump's National Guard deployments there. For a member of the military, following that order to deploy would be legal. Yes, legal. Why? Because of the order's presumptive legality and that it flowed in the proper chain of command from the chief executive of the United States on down. The lawmakers put out that video, said only illegal orders can be disobeyed. Nevertheless, Trump called the video, quote, seditious behavior at the highest level, unquote. Said the lawmakers, quote, should be arrested and put on trial, unquote. And here is the repost calling for the lawmakers to be hanged. House Speaker Mike Johnson, by way of defense of Trump, said the Democrats told troops to, quote, disobey orders, unquote. You can judge that line of defense for yourself. There is, of course, some history here. Trump, many, many months ago, warned about enemies here at home. He meant Democrats in government. Listen.
We have 2 enemies. We have the outside enemy, and then we have the enemy from within. And the enemy from within, in my opinion, is more dangerous than China, Russia, and all these countries.
Democratic leaders in the House and Senate today denounced Trump's rhetoric, as did Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. One of the senators in the video, Lisa Slotkin of Michigan, a former CIA officer, had this response to the president.
If fear is contagious, so is courage. And I think when a lion's share of Americans understand that it is in their own power to push back on this kind of rhetoric and this kind of threat, that's when we actually turn the tide. And I'm not going to shut up because Donald Trump is threatening me.
Starting us off tonight, North Lawn of the White House, Nancy Cordes. Nancy, you had an exchange with Caroline Leavitt during today's White House press secretary briefing. Let's play that exchange for our audience.
The president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually, what they said is you can refuse an illegal order.
But they're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not.
So the White House is holding on to that idea, the suggestion, the implication from this video. Nancy?
That's right. The case that Caroline Leavitt made today is that it isn't the president's speech that is incendiary. It is this video put out by Democrats in which she said that they incentivize the 1.3 million members of the military to disobey the chain of command, something that she said could lead to chaos, even lead to people getting killed. But there was this uproar on Capitol Hill, Major, after the president said that these 6 Democratic lawmakers should be put to death. A lot of Democrats who said that President Trump was putting them at risk, that he has supporters who are unhinged, and that he has just sent a powerful message to them that the Democrats are the enemy and that they deserve to die. The president didn't then repeat his threat, but he didn't delete it either.
And Nancy, this week alone, there is a bit of a backdrop to this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican from Georgia, has said, because she has now since broken with President Trump, or President Trump broke with her, that she has been subjected to greater threats of violence. In Indiana, where the president is unhappy with state lawmakers over their unwillingness to draw new congressional lines there, members of the state Senate have said they've experienced threats and swatting episodes in Indiana. These things are playing out this week. It's a live wire.
Right. And these 6 Democratic lawmakers have now been granted additional security, Major, because they anticipate that there will be a larger volume of threats coming their way. And one Democratic Senator, Chris Murphy of Connecticut, said today, we have kids. And, you know, every lawmaker is now getting on the phone with his or her chief of staff to figure out how we can better protect ourselves this weekend. So, you know, there's already a heightened state of alert. We know that over the past few years that threats to lawmakers have increased exponentially, and they argue that this is just throwing another log on the fire.
From the North Lawn, Nancy Cordes, thank you so very, very much.
That was it.
Well, the
Got
U.S.
it.
jobs report
Okay.
for September.
So
Mhm.
the one thing that really stands out to me here that we have to really understand with Trump, he considers it treason if it's against him, not the country. If it's against him, he calls it treason. That's where the mental derangement comes from.
Well, what I was trying to point out is Article 92 means if it's an unlawful order for the military to go against U.S. citizens or any other law, any other crazy idea Trump comes up with, if it's an unlawful order, they don't have to do it. They don't have to follow it. And I think some of them forget that. I want to make sure that I get it out there so if they hear it again, you don't have to follow that order if it's against U.S. citizens or if it's unlawful. Because one thing that was coming up too in this newscast was him shooting at these ships. These Argentinian ships, and they said, and the military men were questioning, are these lawful orders? We're shooting these people, and we don't even know if they're really criminals. We don't know. How do you know once everything is blown to bits and pieces if it was drugs on the boat? You know, you can't even get all that stuff.
I believe it was Venezuelan.
Yeah, okay, Venezuela,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the question. They want to know what, you know, why are we doing this? You know, we haven't even, why don't you get a boat out there and pull up next to them and search the little ship, little boat first? That's all it is, little boat.
What they're supposed to do, the way they're supposed to do
it.
Yeah, this is really scary, where this is going.
Well, and like I said, I keep going back to, I don't understand how the Supreme Court can just sit there, and if that's all they're going to do for us is just sit there and let a president do the craziest thing that come to his brain. And Donald Trump, I mean, one minute to the next, he really doesn't seem like he's in control of his own mind.
Well, but he also has people like Stephen Miller who are, I think,
They're telling him what to do, and he got Putin telling him what to do. Then he got Kim Jong-un. Then he got Xi Jinping. We don't know who he's answering to. And just like that story about the guy that got shot is coming back up now. The one that got shot over in Saudi Arabia. You know, when he was coming out there, yeah, they say Khashoggi or whatever his name is, and that, you know, they just doing crazy stuff now. We're just doing anything we want.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Mhm.
That was a good clip. Went over a lot of different things. So thank you.
And if you wanted to continue to watch that, I mean, not right now, but all of that was some good information.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in the audience?
Absolutely. So I'm going to save your fun little clip for a little bit later.
Yes.
Okay. We like to end on a fun note. So Andrea has a fun little clip for us later. So let's let me share the screen, or I'll pull this up, and if you want to intro, Maureen, the topic that you have for today. You're muted, dear. You're muted.
Sorry.
There we go.
Talking about Venezuela, now Trump is back on Ukraine. He's trying to set up a plan, right, that will be accepted by Zelensky. And this is what Zelensky says. He feels like he's getting ready to lose the U.S. support and is not happy with the plan. And the White House wants Kiev to sign off on a framework to end the war in the Ukraine based upon the U.S. crafted 28-point peace plan by Thursday. By Thursday, that's just a few days away, according to 3 U.S. officials. I think we can go ahead and see.
Okay, so I'll bring it up. And then,
yeah.
Did you want to play this whole clip, or? Oh, it's only a couple minutes long.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
All right.
This morning, new security concerns and growing backlash. We got to lower the temperature. After President Trump attacked 6 Democratic lawmakers online
is
yesterday,
this not the right
writing,
one?
quote,
No, that's not right. Yeah.
This is what I copied. So, hang on.
Yeah.
I think this was just an article, actually. I don't think the video is related. Yeah, this is the article. Trump urges Ukraine to accept peace plan.
Is here that the president has approved a 28-point plan for peace between Russia
Yeah, I
and
did
Ukraine,
send the
according to a
video.
senior administration official. This is just into us here at NBC News.
It was from.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you can talk about. Part of this was the article that I copied from your text.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, let me just see real quick. This was from NBC News. The video.
I found that some of the stuff I get from NBC doesn't come out, for lack of a better word. It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I can share this one. Let me see.
It's okay.
Oh, StreamYard is so particular.
That's okay. I'll just read from my own. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
go ahead and you can continue talking about it.
Yeah.
Bring this up.
Anyway, the White House wants Kiev to sign off by Thursday on this peace plan they're calling it a peace plan. It does not look like Zelensky is looking at it that way and is not trusting it. And if he does it, Russia says they're willing to play and go for a peace plan, but they will only do it if Zelensky accepts the one being put in place for him. Well, here we go again, right? This has been going on for months, ever since Trump's been in office. And he's always so disrespectful to Zelensky. And we all know that the Russian guy is going to do what he wants to. He has no respect for that country. And my concern, once again, I must say, here we go again. We look terrible in the world, don't we? We're not respected as we used to be. We're not really trying to help this country out. They have so much validity. And we know Putin is going to do just what he wants to do. And he already has. He has started attacking again the country. And the only reason I bring it up, I mean, we're all getting so sick and tired of all of this. And I have a fear of Trump in dealing with people who are having bombs attacking different countries. I don't trust him. I think it's terrible to have a president like this running the world. And we don't need a war. Nobody needs a war. And I think Trump thinks that's kind of interesting. And That's the only reason I bring this up today, because it continues on. There's Venezuela. There's the Ukraine. He's being buddies with Saudi Arabia, still buddies with Russia and China. And I'm sorry that video is not working, but I have to say I'm just exerting my fear for our country and all the countries globally. That it doesn't look like America.
Not at all. No. And Venezuela, that, I'm curious
Yeah.
to what the hell's going on there. I haven't had time to research that enough to know, other than, if we're at war during the midterms,
Yeah.
then he can take full power.
Right.
So,
that one video that I have that you played, I don't know if you can set it up now, but at like about 10 minutes and 3 seconds, that is the part that is showing about Zelensky.
Oh.
That's what was making me say that was a good video. And then it had some fighter people. I forgot the name of the people, but they said they would be willing to fight for Ukraine and other countries that couldn't fight for themselves.
Really? Oh.
What time code? 10?
10 minutes and 3 seconds. That's about where it starts.
Oh, that would be great.
Let's see what they say.
Thank you.
Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Helps you kind of get rid of that crunch in the pocketbook. And if you look at the 5 years, so now we're looking at both the Trump and Biden administration, prices have risen over 24% and wages have risen less than that. So this is kind of a multi-year problem. They're right in the sense that wages have been during this administration. This is a multi-year problem that you're sort of playing catch up from. It's been wild.
Multi-year problem with genuine political impact. We saw that recently in the election. Kelly O'Grady, New York Stock Exchange. Thank you.
Now, that's another
Ukrainian
topic.
President Volodymyr Zelensky says he is working, that's his terminology, working with the United States on its new plan to end the war with Russia, the one that Russia started, we should underscore.
Yeah.
Zelensky met, you can see him there, U.S. Secretary of Army Daniel Driscoll today. This comes after a White House official confirmed to CBS that the president has signed off on a 28-point plan designed to end the war. No indication that Ukraine backs all 28 or even half or even a percentage of those 28 points in currently written. Former Ambassador to Ukraine, William Taylor, joins me now. Ambassador Taylor, it is reported, and I'd like your perspective on this, that much of this 28-point plan drafted by the United States with consultation with Russia and not that much consultation with the Ukrainians. Is that true?
That's what we hear, Major. That's exactly what we hear. We have seen documents. We've seen versions of this 28-point plan. I'm not sure it's the final or it's even the one that's been presented to President Zelensky. But it's very lopsided. It is very pro-Russia. It's as if the Russians did ask for a lot and got a lot of what they wanted.
And is that a negotiating tactic? President Trump likes to think of himself as the art of the deal maker. You give Russia what it wants up front, Ukraine pushes back, and maybe you get something in between?
It could well be. It could well be.
And what's most lopsided about it from your perspective?
Lopsided is it removes the ability of the Ukrainians to defend themselves.
A huge issue.
Huge issue.
Probably non-negotiable in the end. They've got to be able to defend themselves.
They have to be able to defend themselves. There is some talk of a security guarantee, but the real security guarantee is eventually NATO, which is ruled out in this. Limits on the size of the Ukrainian army, limits on the equipment that they can get from other nations to support them, to allow them to defend themselves against the Russians. It takes their ability to defend themselves against the Russians away. So so you talk about negotiations. Presumably the Secretary of Army is there presenting this and is going to hear from President Zelensky Sooner or later, I mean, President Zelensky gets this document. He may have had some indication of what's in it before. He will give some reaction. Like on the minerals deal, Major, that you talked about before, where the Secretary of Treasury came in, put a document on the table and said, I need you to sign this in an hour. And President Zelensky said, no, it's not the way we do this.
Right.
We'll look at it. We'll get our lawyers to look at it. We'll get our experts to look at it, and we'll make you a counteroffer. I expect some kind of a counterproposal to be made.
There has to be a counterproposal, and then we'll find out just how serious this 28 points actually are. What about territorial concessions?
The document, again, maybe not final, but the document asks, demands, requires the Ukrainians to pull out of territory that they control, that the Russians have been trying to get. Russians trying to grab that territory for more than 2 years. And the Ukrainians have been defending against the Russians.
At high cost.
At very high cost. In particular, high cost for the Russians, let's be clear.
Right, both
Russian
sides.
soldiers. But a lot of Ukrainians have also died defending that territory. And this document says, give it up.
You have talked on this program many times, Ambassador Taylor, about the importance of the United States and the European nations to be cohesive on this. How do you think Europe, NATO, EU is looking at this document, even if it's informal?
I expect the European leaders who've got some relationship with President Trump to get on the phone. And they're going to make it very clear that documents need to be changed. This document needs to be negotiated. They want a role, but they also want to support Zelensky. They want him to be able to defend himself because he's defending them. He's defending the Europeans. So the Europeans, I think, have a lot at stake. They've indicated this is not a great document. They've indicated that this is close to capitulation, to surrender on the part of the Ukrainians. They're not in favor of that.
So one thing that almost all sides agree on, it's President Trump singularly who can end this war. Europeans say that. President Zelensky says that. If that's true, and this is the opening gambit, is that discouraging to the Ukrainians?
President Trump has leverage over Putin that he could use right now.
He could tell the House to pass the sanctions bill, send it over to the Senate, and roll.
Absolutely, he could do that, and he could put sanctions on right now, without that bill. But that would give him a lot of political cover to do exactly what you just said. But he's got that kind of leverage. He's also got leverage to give the Ukrainians the military capability to defend themselves. And if he uses those two levers, he can push Putin to come to a much better deal than what's in this document.
He has yet to be willing to do that, though.
He has put some sanctions on the two largest Russian oil companies. It did that, and that's having an effect. That's having an effect of reducing the volume of money, of rubles, that comes into the Russian treasury that allows them to pursue this war. So that's having an effect. He could do more of that.
He could do more. William Taylor, former ambassador to Ukraine, as always, sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, he could do more. He
Yeah.
could have done more. He could have always done more. Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a fair deal to the Ukraine at all.
I don't think it's meant to be.
It's
I
not.
don't either.
Yeah, true.
I just only want to bring up real quickly. Did you guys notice when Zelensky was sitting there with one of our reps? That room did not look like the United States. It favors Saudi Arabia, anywhere else in this world but the United States.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
I agree with you, August.
I was going to say something, but I didn't know what room that was that they were in. But yeah, it looks like something out of Russia.
It does. I was asking myself, where are they? Is that here?
Yes, it is here in the White House, but it's in one of those rooms. And that's why when I looked, the only thing, not even the flag in there represented us.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where they were. I was going to go back and look because I had the same question, August. Yeah, I agree. Where the hell was that?
Put up with democracy. Jesus was saying that he's talking like Donald Trump would listen to any leader. He doesn't listen to anybody. He doesn't even know who's talking to him in his own brain.
I think he has voices talking to him, but who knows who they are?
Dictator decor. Yes, Katie, 100%.
Yeah, you're right,
He's
Kate.
he's
Because
doing
they
what
want the
Putin-
minerals. What they want is the minerals that are in Ukraine. And unless they get the minerals, they don't want to agree to anything. And they killed all those hundreds of thousands of people, just like they did over in Iran, not Iran, well, Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
You know,
Well, I quote
the Palestinians.
Zelensky said
Gaza.
he will not give up, and he's not giving up for
Right.
all the people that went ahead, fought, and died for this country. He will not give in. And that's the most powerful thing. As Katie was saying, Ukraine, stand strong, stay the course.
And Gaza should stand strong, but I'm telling you, they're going through and blowing them up like they just dolls. It's embarrassing for the United States. No, I mean, the United Kingdom doesn't want to share secrets with the United States anymore. They don't, because they don't trust them anymore. And Canada doesn't share secrets with us anymore.
Right.
But
And
it is targeted. I want you guys to understand it is targeted. They're not upset with the American people. They are very much upset. They know exactly who they are upset with. They are upset with this administration. That's who they're upset with. They're very discouraged by what they're seeing and how they're acting. They're not upset with the American people. And we got to make sure we're saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we look crazy to our adversaries out there. However, they're not mad with you and I as individuals. They're mad with this administration.
Right.
Do-
They
do
see
you-
us.
Yeah.
They
Have
see
you
us out
noticed?
there protesting. Yeah.
Have you noticed how his son-in-law Kushner is getting involved with all these issues? I don't understand. He does not have a background for that. And I'm sorry, it's all money. You know.
I think August had a good point, if you want to bring it out again, about the children. The children are going around and doing all this stuff while he's sitting there brain dead. His children are going and being as corrupt as they can be.
Yeah, they're making all kinds of deals for the business.
Yeah.
In all these countries.
They don't have immunity, I will say that. And chickens will come back around. They do not have immunity. Only their father, because of the office, but the kids do not. So they can make all the deals they want. We just have to make sure we vote correctly to get the right person in there and the right AG to handle their business.
Yeah.
All right, great segment. So let's spend the rest of our time with August.
Oh,
The floor is yours.
On the move.
I am on the move. Today is Wednesday. Could you believe it's a 1 week before Thanksgiving and Black Friday? Oh my gosh, I hope you guys are ready. But tonight, I definitely want to bring to the stage. Did you guys hear about? I have an echo. I'm trying to minimize it real quickly. All right. Did you guys hear about JD Vance and Usha might be getting a divorce? Let's go to the cosplay that is going on in that section and let me know how you feel about it.
Tonight, the internet is erupting with rumors of a possible rift inside the second family after new photos showed JD Vance's wife, Usha Vance, arriving at an event without her wedding ring. The images were taken as she appeared alongside Melania Trump at Camp Lejeune, and within minutes, the photos had gone viral. Usha has already been at the center of controversy in recent weeks. Her husband publicly mentioned that he hopes she will eventually convert from Hinduism to Christianity, a comment that sparked backlash and raised eyebrows about the dynamics inside their marriage. And just days earlier, Vice President Vance made headlines for a noticeably close embrace with the widow of the late conservative podcaster Charlie Kirk. That moment alone fueled speculation. But now the missing ring has lit the internet on fire. Past photos show Usha consistently wearing her ring, but in the new images, the jewelry is nowhere to be seen. Political strategist Adam Parkhomenko pointed it out immediately, saying Usha Vance minus a wedding ring yesterday at Camp Lejeune. Another user wrote, ditching the ring while posing with Melania screams, I'm just here for the photo op, not the marriage. Even influencers on the right are chiming in, with some defending her and others insisting there's more to the story. All of this comes at a time when the Vance political brand is juggling controversies, public pressure, and nonstop media attention, making the sudden disappearance of a wedding ring a detail the internet is not letting go. For now, there is no official comment from the Vance family, but online, the speculation is only intensifying. Thanks so much for watching.
So guys,
Please
what
click
do
that
you
like
think
button
about
and
that?
subscribe
Huh?
to Occupy Democrats so that
So
I
guys,
don't
what
know
do you
that I
think?
would put everything on the ring, but it is interesting.
Usha Vance is very smart, and I think she is pulling the curtain back and saying, I've had enough of this. This isn't what she signed up for.
You know, J.D. Vance looks dirty to me. He look like he need a bath. and and she is such a beautiful woman. You know, you can get somebody else. Let them go.
Yeah,
Maureen, what's your thought?
you're muted.
You're muted.
Maureen's muted. Oh no, I don't know. What a pathetic group of people. I don't put any store on the ring. I suppose you could have forgotten your ring that day. Yeah. But I think she should leave him. He's a creep. And there could be some validity to it. I don't think they start a story like this unless someone's heard other things, but I don't know.
This is allegedly this. I have not fact checked this, but wasn't there a clip going around of her kind of being nasty on a media program?
Who?
I don't know. His wife.
Who? Oh, his wife, Usha.
Yeah,
That'd be
I remember
interesting to
seeing
find
that
out.
somewhere. Again, that's allegedly, but
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
Well, that was quite the hug he was making though with what's her face?
Kirk's wife.
Kirk's wife.
Mm-hmm.
But then, how much can you read into that too? But
yeah, but
that was pretty. That was pretty tight.
It was.
Well,
and Donald Trump keeps hugging. I mean, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance keep making these ugly comments about brown people, and you know she is brown.
Yeah.
And how can you go home? How can your husband come home and you know he's insulted you all over the country, all over the world? He's insulted you.
Well, as Katie said, Usha girl, you in trouble. You are in trouble. You in danger, girl. You in danger.
girl.
Absolutely, Katie. She's definitely in danger because her husband, he says he respects her and love his kids, but nevertheless, my husband would not, and I believe any of you guys would not get up there and say, and you can check it if you want, that, oh, well, you know, we talked about our religion and, you know, she's going to take mine. Why can't she have her own? And you guys meet in the middle.
Exactly.
So I want to redact my last statement. It wasn't her, it was Miller's wife.
Oh,
Oh.
right.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah, it was Miller's wife.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Redaction, so we're redacting and we're making
We're
sure. it
redacting.
is
I already
Miller's
said
wife.
that I didn't know. I
Right,
heard that
you
it was
did.
the wrong wife.
But I'm going to go ahead and transition from that story and go over to what's next. Is Pam Bondi being fired? Do you think Trump going to fire Pam Bondi because of this Epstein file? It has come about days and days. He's clearly not happy that this story and that he had to sign. Yes, Trump signed today to have the Epstein files released, if you're not aware of it. But nevertheless, I'm asking you, is Pam Bondi head on the platter? What do you think? Talk back to me.
I don't think so. She has too much information. I don't think he would cross her.
Yeah.
I don't know if
She
Trump will
knows.
fire anybody.
Yeah.
He'll send her to prison before he tell the truth.
Yeah.
As the old adage goes, she knows where the bodies are buried.
Right. You see what happened to Epstein? He dead.
Yeah.
She know where some of the bodies are buried. Maybe not all of them. But while we're talking about bodies, well, let's go to the next story that's up in my
Oh my God.
atmosphere. I want you to hear this.
Donald Trump is profiting off of the presidency itself, selling items that are using the presidential seal illegally. It is a federal crime to use the presidential seal in any way other than being the president of the United States, and to profit off it, to sell guns in this case, handguns, using the presidential seal. It is what it is. He's profiting off of using the presidential seal. Anyway, this is a remarkable story. Woke up to this with Aaron Rupar. Tweeted out this video that Fox now is running commercials for Trump guns. The living legend DT-47. Watch this.
In honor of Donald Trump's amazing comeback election victory to become our 47th president, Bond Arms is introducing an impressive handgun, the living legend DT-47. Find out how you can save $100 on the new DT-47 from Bond Arms. Take advantage of the Bond Arms 30th Anniversary Summer Special. Buy any Bond Arms handgun and get up to a $50 gift card. Go to getbondarms.com. That's getbondarms.com.
Now, I already spoiler alerted the whole thing. I spoiled it. What they don't tell you in that little commercial is when you go to the website, you can check out the DT-47 satin package. And when you click on it, you see that the weapon, the pistol, the .45 caliber, it comes along with a holster that is emblazoned with, that has the presidential seal embedded into the weapon. So this would lead any normal, rational, reasonable person to recognize that this is a product that is endorsed by not Donald Trump himself, but the presidency of the United States of America.
Now, you know this is sad. Let's hear from you guys. What do you think? What's your thoughts?
There it is.
Oh, WTF.
There you go.
Oh my God. How much more disgusting can this get? I mean,
oh, it's gonna get very much more disgusting.
Jesus.
They're gonna rip.
This
They're
is
gonna
no-
rape in as much as they can, and it's our jobs to take it back from them. We have to make sure that they pay for all of this. And what is so sad, you'll have people out there using those guns against folks. This is
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a grift. It's a constant grift. You know, what can I do next that's going to put money in my pocket instead of putting food on someone's table?
this is what he does. He has never built anything. He was a trust fund baby, and all he ever did was sell his name. That was the only thing he was ever good at.
Oh, he good at filing bankruptcy.
That too.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's all he's done is grift.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, actually.
In the comment, tell us how you guys feel.
Well, Katie's right. Did you see the prices on those pieces? My Lanta.
Well, that's what those guns cost.
I bring this up because the grift continues, as Kim said, and you guys got to be aware of this because from steaks to China to you name it, he has tried to sell his people, and they are not waking up. Enough is enough. Well, we're going to
Blame the
continue. Go ahead, Kim.
I blame the Republicans. They're not doing their job and standing up to this blatant grifting that this man is doing.
We
My
talked about this
amygdala
earlier.
is firing.
I would like to throw the Supreme Court into that too.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier on sedition. but I
Tonight,
wanted to
President
give
Trump
you-
criticized by members of both parties after calling 6 Democratic members of Congress, quote, traitors, and accusing them of sedition.
But you guys reported on this earlier. The reason why I'm bringing it up, because both parties criticized this. I don't know if we made that clear earlier. Did we? If we did,
No.
I can definitely move on.
Vicious behavior punishable by death.
Representative.
It came in response to video released by the lawmakers, all of whom served in the military or in U.S. intelligence.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
In the video, the lawmakers reminding members of the military they should not obey illegal orders.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
The lawmakers did not specify which orders they were talking about, but the president, enraged, posting a flurry of messages on social media saying they should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand, adding, an example must be set. The president then writing, seditious behavior punishable by death. And he reposted a message from another account that said, hang them. George Washington would. Democrats accusing the president of inciting violence.
This puts all of our lives in jeopardy, right? What are we all doing right now? Democrats in the Congress are on the phone with their chiefs of staff, beefing up our security for this weekend and next week because the president has a lot of unhinged supporters out there.
Republicans clearly uncomfortable.
The words that the president chose are not the ones that I would use. Okay. Obviously, I don't think that
What's
this
so
is,
damn funny?
these are crimes punishable by death or any of that. Okay.
Republican Senator Rand Paul was blunt.
That kind of rhetoric isn't good. It stirs up people among us who may not be stable, who may think, well, traitors, what do we do with traitors? That's a penalty. Maybe I'll just take matters into my own hands, which is not something we should be encouraging.
At the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked to explain.
Just to be clear, does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to.
Leavitt saying the 6 Democrats are the ones inciting violence.
They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command.
I spoke with Congressman Jason
No, they're
Crow,
not.
former Army Ranger who was in that video.
Such a liar.
What would your message to the president be?
I don't do fear and intimidation well, and I'm not going to stop.
In that video, Democrats cited what they called threats to the Constitution, insisting that the Trump administration is pitting our military against American citizens, but they did not provide any specific examples. Congressman Crow telling me they felt the need to start a conversation after the president made what he called disturbing statements. David.
Rachel Scott live up on the Hill tonight.
All right, guys. So we did hear from this earlier. I just wanted to give it a balanced look because we did speak about this, and we know that there is Republicans are speaking out, and I wanted to make sure that we put that out there to make it balanced. Whether they spoke or not, we just need to make sure that we're showing balance here. I'm gonna put up what Katie is saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll second that, Kitty.
We all do.
Yeah.
100%.
all
Now I want to see him come out and say selling guns with the presidential seal as a host with the holster with the presidential seal is not allowed. We don't do that in this country. That's not allowed.
No.
That's
But no one's
next
holding
thing.
him accountable, Kim. No one.
I know.
No one. But second to my last little bit. Did you guys know about China? This is what's going on. Chinese astronauts returned from space station after delay blamed on space station debris. There was 3 Chinese astronauts returned from their nation's space station Friday after more than a week's delay because the return capsule they had planned to use was damaged, likely from being hit by space debris. Just so you're aware of it, space debris can travel at the speed of light. So that hitting their ship, it definitely damaged it. However, it says it wasn't clear if the change in the spacecraft would affect the timing of future missions to the space station in Tango, where new crew typically swap in every 6 months. The space agency said that 22 would be launched, but did not specifically say as to when. I just want you guys to keep informed in regards to what's going on in space station. Tonight, I would like to share this one with you. I think it is definitely funny. And let me know your thoughts on it. Let me bring it to the stage. One moment. Sorry. I feel like I'm stuck. And here we go.
Get your red hats today? Come on, man. Yeah, real funny. Just checking. No. It's cold. Leave us alone. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
So he was asking, did you forgot your red hats today?
Mhm.
Not sure if you guys are aware of what's going on with that.
Funny.
Because they're standing in a food line.
Mhm.
Right.
And you remember we're winning. America is great. The economy is great. Everything is great. So the man asked, hey, did you guys forget your red hats today? Because you're standing in this food line. So just want to make sure you guys understood what the punt is.
Haven't created any more jobs this year either.
Absolutely. With that said, you guys try to make sure you have a great weekend and think positive thoughts. Over to you, Kim.
Thank you. Great stuff. Great stuff. It got our little amygdala a little spark in there, though. Got us a little fired up.
Yeah.
God, that man can do that.
So easy.
So, go ahead, Maureen. What?
No, I said it's just so easy to do anymore. You feel like your whole body is just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple things before we show a little fun clip from Andrea. But if everybody doesn't know, this was announced. Eric Swalwell enters California governor's race. So, and my son-in-law will be helping with an event he's doing here in South Orange County tomorrow. So I wish I could go, but I'll go to some of the next ones. I do want to hear what he has to say, and I think he's a good could be a good choice for us here in Cali.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. The other announcement is we are doing a Thanksgiving special next Wednesday. So we're going to take a break from all this chaos and just all this stuff and just focus on being thankful, talk about our most cherished Thanksgiving memories, what our traditions are, share some recipes, and just kind of have a relaxed live broadcast next Wednesday. So we hope you can join us then. More to come. And then now, last but not least, let's see what Andrea brought for us.
Let's hear it. Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.
Uh-oh, we're gonna get dinged.
All right, stop, collaborate and listen. I sit back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax the chunk like a candle. Dance, what's the speaker that moves? I kill off your brain, goes with some mushroom deadly. When I play a low melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, you better gain weight. You better hit bulls out of kids, don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.
Let's hear it.
Yay!
Oh, it makes you want to dance.
I
I
know.
want to dance. I want to dance now.
Yeah.
We'll probably get a copyright ding on that, but I'll go in and fix
Well, tell them now. I'm sorry. I'll
That's
do it
okay.
one more time.
I do that with the movie reels. Actually, we get a copyright, but we don't get dinged for it. Thank goodness. So we'll be fine. I played Ice Ice Baby early on for something else we did, but they're good. I love watching dance. Yeah, I love dance.
I liked it so much. I just kept watching it.
Over and over. We played.
Oh, did you see that, y'all?
We got a lot
Now she's leaving Congress.
Yes. Yes. She announced it. She's resigning. Yes. Yes.
I'm proud of her.
Yes.
I'm proud of you, Margie.
Yeah.
What are you up to? I don't trust you.
Who's sleeping?
Well,
I think
that means
Marjorie
she's going to
Taylor Greene.
run. That means she will be running for governor or something like that. She's
What
going to go.
state?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, Maureen, and
MTG.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
What is
What
she?
state
It's
does
on,
she live in?
it's on CNN.
She's leaving Congress.
Yeah, but what state does she live in?
I'm sorry. I know she came out on a good side, but I can't help it. I still don't,
I don't. It's something else going on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah. She's gonna probably run for governor or something. Yeah.
Thanks, Katie, for that breaking news.
Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. All right, everybody. That's all we have today. Thank you so much for joining us. We love all the comments. We love interacting with you, and we so appreciate your support. Oh, you have no idea. We love you. So please join us if you're not doing a whole lot next Wednesday and you want to get some great recipes and hear some stories. Come join us for our Thanksgiving special. So love you. Have a great weekend. And they used to say, what do we used to say? Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
We would say, shout MS.
But at this age, I'm pretty tame. So please.
Please do
Not me,
everything
I'm
that we
crazy.
would do.
Darn it, huh?
All right, guys. Love you.
We the people unite.